Just get my RCAs ready, my remote wire ready, shooting my power wire through the firewall. Get it all joined up at the kick panel, that way I can run it right underneath the driver's seat where I'm going to be installing the TE601D amplifier. We got our Z9 RCA interconnects, these are 11 footers. I was originally going to do 16 foot, put the amp on the back wall of the truck, but I decided against that. So I'd rather have the amp accessible, just in case if you want to adjust the gains, the low pass filter, etc. Got my sub outputs, I apologize. So right now, I'm looking for a location where I can go through my firewall, which I believe I found the perfect spot. These trucks come in a manual version as well. All the bodies are the same, so they make a clutch delete plate. That's actually where I'm going to be drilling through to feed my 4-gauge wire. That way I'm not, ruining any of the factory grommets, such as this one right here. I don't want to cut into that. I might as well just leave it as is and go through right here, right where that clutch delete plate is. So I'm going to be shooting through there. I'm going to use a step drill bit the size of my 4-gauge. Great little tool. Let's see if I can. I may want to use the right angle, or I may want to shoot it through here. So I went ahead and got my grommet in. I'm going to drill the hole a little bit larger than the 4-gauge wire. Push the grommet in, you're good to go. And I forgot my freaking split loom, so I'm going to go grab some of that, because I don't want a blue wire hanging around in here, it looks cheesy. Loom it, make it look good. Makes it look factory when you pop the hood. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm finding this location for my fuse holder, which is right over there. Usually you want that 18 inches away from the positive lead on the battery. Just to protect against a short circuit, something grounds out, you want that fuse to pop prior to it getting to the amplifier. The amplifier as well has its own fuses, just in case. If there is a short, the fuses on the amp will save the amp. So I'm going to be cutting it, basically interrupting the main power lead here. Make sure you insert it all the way. I like to hold it and keep pressure, that way when I screw it down, nice and tight. All right, the reason why I'm removing the seat is I want to get the amp tucked in there as much as possible. It makes my life a little bit easier when I'm trying to mount it as well. I don't have to use a right angle adapter. Get the screws sat in there, get the amp nice and firmly mounted, and just get this thing out of my way. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach the ground here. What I like to do is I call it the Mickey Mouse ear trick. I'm not sure if you guys watched my Volkswagen install, but same concept. You get one in the center, put two on the outside, that way it can never come loose. So, got one right here, and another right here. Nice and tight, never going to come undone. One of the main things I found out were troubleshooting systems that amps weren't turning on, from other installers, is they usually just do one self-tapper and that's it. After a while, the vibrations the vehicle makes and driving it and pulling on the amp, whatever you're doing, that can come loose, and that's one of the main causes for your amp shutting off and not turning on. So always check your ground end or your main power fuse. So right now I'm wiring up the amp, our TE601D. Found out that it fits perfect underneath this seat as well. Let's go ahead and wire her up. Now the cool thing is, if you want to come around this side here, you can still access the settings on the amp. The gain adjustments, low pass filter adjustments, bass boost adjustments, etc. This way, if you need to fine tune your amp, you just roll your seat on up, adjust it, you're good to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and mount it straight to the chassis. Now a lot of people say you always want to put a board MDF between the amp and the chassis, which is a great idea. You definitely want to do that with like a 4-channel and or sub amp. But in this case, since I ran my wires properly, I did everything as I should. I shouldn't get any noise, especially through a sub amp. So it's mono channel, we should be fine. All right guys, so we just finished installing our TE601D amplifier right underneath the seat. as you can see, as well. And that next step is to put our Thunderform in with our TT6510 Shaw mount woofers, and we're going to be complete.